Alright, what's up guys? Real quick before this video starts, I want to let you guys know we're doing a massive giveaway with VICTRIX Pro AF. We're giving away 20 headsets. The grand prize winner is going to win a headset signed by the pro team and myself, and then there's going to be 19 runners up who also win a headset. All you have to do to sign up is click the link in the video description below. The more things you do, the better chance you have to win. It's basically just follow a whole bunch of our homies on all the different social medias. This is the largest giveaway we've ever done. 20 headsets is so many winners. So if you never win giveaways, this is probably your best shot. Good luck, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, what's up guys? It's KOSDFF here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I almost lost 2 of my fingers. I've been seeing your comments, I've been seeing your tweets. I know a lot of you guys have been asking story videos to come back. Well, here it is. And it's going to involve me bringing you guys back to my days at SCUF Reglands, but unlike my previous story videos, which always happened like when I was in like 9th or 10th grade, this is going to happen when I believe I was in 8th or 7th grade. And this distinction was important because at SCUF Reglands in Sydney, there's actually 2 campuses, and they kind of like split like the pre-high school kids and the high school kids. So I think grades like 6 through 8 went to like the pre-campus, then like grades 9 through 12 went to like the big cool campus. So like my graffiti story and when I got asked to leave the school story, all that stuff happened like on the other campus. This was like the kids campus. But the gameplay I'm going to be talking over is actually a gameplay I got at E3. As you know, we just went there and attended. It was my first E3. It was fucking awesome. And I was lucky enough to get in contact with Call of Duty, and they let me go up in their like recording room so I could record a gameplay. And unlike when we went to the premiere for Black Ops 4 and got to play, which was against a whole bunch of like French YouTubers that were just amazing at the game, this time I got to play against a bunch of vloggers. So they honestly didn't really have any idea what they were doing. They were, you know, good at the game because I feel like everybody has at one point in their life played Call of Duty. But they fell far short from our competitors at the Black Ops 4 premiere. So I actually was able to get some kills and some streaks and use some of the stuff in the game. Was a lot more fun. So to continue to paint the picture, like SCUF Reglands is like this really nice private school in North Sydney, and it has like 2 campuses that are pretty much right across the street from each other. I mean, there's like this one little like triangle park in between it. For the most part, it's like one big traffic light away. So I know a lot of my viewers are American, so they might not have like the clearest picture of what private school is. So to me back then, and I'm guessing everybody that's watching this video now, private school really only meant one thing: a bunch of spoiled, rotten rich kids. But that's usually based upon the fact that in America we have public education, so there's like schools everywhere. And you know, I think majority of kids actually attend public schools. Australia, like a lot of I guess European countries, or especially Sydney, Australia, was a little bit different. They had public schools, but almost nobody went to them. Everybody went to private school. I'm guessing the funding that they have over there for their public education system is a lot smaller, so everyone prefers to put their kids in private school. And I'm going to tell you the reason why is that private schools are actually fucking awesome, to be honest. Like, apart from having to wear the school uniform, which, believe it or not, there is actually a lot of societal benefits to having a school uniform, but like just in general, like that is like one tiny con in like a sea of pros. To start off with, the campuses are fucking amazing, and plus everybody that's at the school really wants to be there, or at least their parents really want them to be there because they're paying a whole lot of money, and they are vastly different in almost every way, including the layout from all American high schools. For example, there wasn't a cafeteria at SCUF Reglands. There might be one there now. I don't know. I haven't been there like, you know, in forever. But back then, they just had a canteen, which was kind of like a shop or a pop-up store that sold all the stuff that you guys would want for tea or lunch. And then when you would go eat or go hang out or do anything, you were just free to go anywhere on the school grounds. There was no giant room and huge tables with little seats attached to them that you wouldn't sat down to and ate like huddled together like some massive like crowd. Everyone just kind of like broke off and went into all their different areas. Every little group usually had some area that they would meet to eat. Now, I've told you guys stories of some of the stuff we would get into during those times because it was never anything good. But all that again happened over on like the high school campus, and we're in like the junior high campus. So instead of sneaking off to go graffiti or smoke cigarettes or find some way to skip school, on this side of the campus, we'd organize and play like sports, or all go eat in an area, or go hang out somewhere and talk and play video games. It was just, but it's not to say we didn't get into a fair amount of trouble, and we did try to sneak off to skip school and smoke cigarettes, do all that stuff too. But you know, we also played handball, went into like classrooms and hung out. And one of the things we also like to do is like chase each other around the whole entire campus, because you would like, it was almost like before parkour was even a thing. Like it was kind of cool on this campus because it was not like an American high school where it's like one giant building. There was like 6 or 7 buildings, and it was more like a college campus. So running in between all the buildings and trying to fly through all the nooks and crannies was actually really fun. And that's actually how I got my hand crushed in a science lab door. I still remember the sound of that crunch to this day. So how this happens is I was basically chasing a friend of mine through the like hallway of the campus. So like again, like we were at lunch, so everybody just kind of like was able to go everywhere. It was a really open campus. There was no hall passes or anything. So we're just like running through the hallways and dipping in and out of classes to kind of like catch each other. Well, my friend that I was chasing dipped into the science lab, and as I was like turning the corner, because I'm going like full speed, I grabbed onto the hinge of the door to attempt to like swing myself into the science lab, and right at that exact moment, she slammed the door like with all her might, and my fingers, my two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger got completely crushed instantly. And I'd say I still remember the crunch. I still remember the crunch. I still remember the picture. It's like burned into my skull of looking at the door being completely closed. And I'm talking about the hinge side of the door, not the slamming closed part. I still remember seeing like my fingers being in between that closed door and like the hinge that it's in, or like the groove that the door is in, and just seeing it like just sit there and be like all purple and red. It honestly still haunts me. Now, immediately I start screaming for her to open the door. I'm like, open the door, open the door. Now, I'm pretty sure I could have opened it myself, but like I was just screaming that she had to do it. I guess I was just in total shock. I believe I grabbed my wrist and tried to pull my hand out, but it didn't move at all. So she had to like open the door eventually. And I'd say eventually, it probably only took like, I don't know, a second or two, but for me it took like absolutely forever. As soon as I got my hand free, they all started freaking out because there was a whole bunch of kids like chasing each other. It was like, I don't remember the other two because this was a really long time ago, but there was like a couple different kids there, and they're screaming for me to run to sick bay. Now at this point I had completely forgotten where the hell that was, so I was just like looking around like crazy. Eventually one of them like took off in one direction. I just started following them. We run down like the 2 or 3 flights of stairs down to the nurse's office, and it's literally just like this closet of a room. I mean, this isn't like a mega facility, kind of like the high schools that are out today, that there's so many like actual physical sports that they usually have a decent like medical room and medical staff. This one was very different. It was just one woman in this tiny little room, and I got to lay down on this bed, and she couldn't give me any aspirin or any of that stuff because we hadn't filled out a form yet. I was still semi new to the school, I believe. For some reason, she wouldn't give me any Advil or anything to like numb the pain because she just couldn't. I think just because she was the nurse and not like the on-school doctor or anything like that. So I'm just sitting there just dying. I'm crying my eyes out, and eventually I remember just stopping crying and getting really tired and then just passing out. To be honest, I think I'd just been up really late that night before, and I was just like, you know what, if I'm just gonna lay down here at bed, I might as well just fall asleep. So I fell asleep, but this freaked out the nurse because she thought I was passing out, and I'm just like, no, I'm fine, like I'm just tired, so I'm gonna close my eyes. But she insisted that I did not do this, but she thought I was like having some kind of panic attack or something. She didn't want me to lose consciousness or something. So I'm literally there like, all right, I'm just like laying there awake, falling asleep for like a minute, and her like waking me up every time. Until finally my parents get there. Like they didn't even like call an ambulance or anything. My dad literally showed up at the school. Like he left work, drove to the school, picked me up. And we go to some medical facility, and I just started crying again. I remember just like as soon as we started moving and I got in there, I was just dying of pain. I was looking down at my hand and it looked all fucked up. I think that's what actually was making me cry, because I still to this day really don't remember the pain. I'm just kind of guessing because I remember crying so much. But I think it was just like the look of my fucked up hand. But then again, like I leaned over on my dad's shoulder and ended up taking like a little bit of a nap. I literally think like my body was like just like short circuiting for all the pain I was going through or something like that. So I like took a nap on my dad, who eventually woke me up for me to go get x-rayed. And again, like for some reason while I was getting x-rayed and had to move it around and could feel like the numbness of it because I couldn't feel my hand anymore at this point. And just seeing it all fucked up and like little blood bubbles coming out of all the sides of it just made me absolutely wail crying again. And I still remember it to this day because as soon as we got out of that room and we went back in like the waiting room, he sat there and he was like, I don't know why you were crying in there. And I'm like, what? Like, really? Look at my hand. It's fucked. And he's like, nah, like you were sleeping 2 minutes before we went in there. You just started crying again. Like it couldn't have hurt that much. And I was just like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. I don't think like he totally knew, obviously because he's my parent and you know he wasn't actually there to see what my hand went through. All he saw was my hand all purple and blue. But eventually the doctor came out with the x-rays and it showed that the actual tips of my fingers weren't broken. They were crushed. There was like my finger, and then there was just like, I don't know, not to over exaggerate, but like 7 or 8, maybe 10 just little pieces of white stuff. Like it just looked like the tips of my fingers weren't there. It's like my fingers didn't feel good and just started to like fade away. But at that point, I feel like my dad like understood, and he didn't mean it in a mean way. I'm kind of telling the story like that, but he meant it as like a joke, like, you know, because we were like, he was trying to make me laugh, and I did. I like giggled at it because like that's like my family's sense of humor. But yeah, no. After that, they like wrapped my fingers and they put my fingers in these 2 like big metal splints and then like taped those on, and then they gave me like these 2 little velvet pouches to like put over my fingers to like I guess hide the fact that, you know, I had these massive splints on it, which I didn't end up using. I think I wore them to school once, and they're like, "What the hell is that? You look like you have a fucking claw." But yeah, no. I ended up having to wear those splints for I don't even know how long. I think it was like a week or 2. or some shit like that. And then eventually I had to wear a glove around my hand. And I still remember to this day, like it's the most irrational thought. And it's the reason why I titled the video the way I did, is that when I saw these x-rays, for some reason I thought like broken bones can heal, right? For some reason I thought because my fingers had been crushed, I was just not gonna have the tips of my fingers anymore. Like I'm never gonna be able to continue learning to play guitar. I'm not gonna have my fingers there. Like I'll never be able to do so many things because like the tips of my fingers weren't there, which was just the most irrational thought in the world because in my, you know, they were just cracked, and of course, you know, the bones eventually is like set together and regrew. I do really wish one day I could go back to Skies Raglands and go check all that stuff out. I actually had such a great experience in private schools. I feel like everybody would say that because obviously it's a private school, but they always had like amazing camping trips, the best after school activities. The food was fucking great. You know, the people there were always like really fucking awesome, and you know, everyone always had really cool stuff to do on the weekends. But yeah, no, private school was fucking awesome, and literally every day I was there besides this day, because this day I fucking slammed my hand into a science lab door, and the worst part about it was I did it in front of like 3 girls and like 2 of my best friends, and I'd only been at the school for like 2 months. And the girl, I do want to mention that the girl eventually did call. I don't remember, it was like later that day. Like I was still really groggy because I had eventually got some pain meds from the doctor, and you know, I was 12, so of course I was really out of it, but I still have a vivid memory of her calling and apologizing, and she felt really bad, but like that was the last time we like ever spoke. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you guys are excited for Black Ops 4. I can't wait for that shit. I'm gonna try and dive back into making some more of these story videos. Good luck on the giveaway. I hope everybody entered that shit. It's a great way to try to win a headset. That we're giving away 20 of them. I mean, there's gonna be so many winners. I don't think we've ever had a giveaway had 20 winners before. So good luck on that. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July. Hope you guys went and blew up a whole bunch of shit. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because that's exactly what I'm about to go do. Be safe, have fun, see you guys tomorrow.